And in the studio tonight, we have a WWPR veteran, Joey D. I don't know. There was some speculation as to what your real name was and what we can call you.
Yeah.
And what do you prefer to be called on the air?
On the air, Joey Donovan.
Joey Donovan. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it sounds nice. 5 syllables. So yeah, it works out well.
Joey Donovan.
Yeah.
So
did everybody else just count them in their head?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't count.
I counted mine.
No.
I didn't count his. I counted mine.
No, but Joey has a show on WWPR right after mine.
I do.
If you want to tap into WWPR's audio stream, you'll hear his show come on directly after mine, and it is called
Geek Radio 1490.
Geek Radio 1490. What's the show all about?
What's the show not all about? It's if you're a geek, you'll understand the premise. Essentially, it's just anything to do with being a geek.
Pop culture.
Yeah, that too. A combination of things. For example, over the past couple of weeks, we've been running Monty Python.
Yep.
When we were doing this on the weekends, we were running like a night devoted to Bob and Ray. We'll run some nights devoted to old-time radio. Gunsmoke, the 60th anniversary of the first show on radio back in '52. We did that. We also featured episodes of X-1. I'll have some interviews I had from the archives back in the earlier days when I used to interview people from various and sundry TV shows, authors, astronauts.
Last week you replayed an interview you had with Wally
Schirra, yeah.
Schirra.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a cool interview.
That was great. Wally Schirra was like, may he rest in peace. He passed away about 4 years ago, but he was, I interviewed him about a couple years before he went from this life to the next, and this man was as sharp as a tack, and he gave out the goods, and he was very, very happy to be, not so much in the room, obviously it was a phone call across the country, but he wasn't one of those grumpy guys where, yeah, I did it, so what? But he was magnificent, and I miss him tremendously.
Was Schirra one of the guys that thought he saw a UFO up there? I'm trying to remember who it was.
That was Gordon Cooper.
Okay.
Gordon Cooper.
I thought there were more than one.
Maybe. It just depends on whom you talk to.
Okay.
Because there was even talk with the first moon landing that there was like some UFO activity not too far away, just watching and seeing what was going on. But UFOs are one thing we don't really talk about because there's already just a glut of, with coast to coast.
Well, yeah, coast to coast, yeah. I mean,
that's their bag.
Yeah, that's their thing. So, we're always listening on the way home as well. So we heard the Monty Python bit, and that was good. The Beatles thing you did a couple of weeks ago was good, too.
Yeah, 50 years ago. And I think it was 50 years ago last week that Please Please Me was the first single that came out from Parlophone in the UK. Yeah, 1960, 50 years ago. A lot of great anniversaries this year.
So, so we were, we dig the show, and like I said, even though I shouldn't be, but whenever I'm up past 11 o'clock on a weeknight, even though I got to get up at 6 a.m., we, exactly, right there. Terry Schiavo's yawning. So
I thought Charlie was biting his finger.
Charlie. It hurts.
But I do. I like catching the show, and you had some good Groucho Marx stuff on there last night.
Last night, yeah. And tonight that will continue. In fact, I called that from NBC in its last glory days, from 55 to 75, had this weekend radio service called Monitor, where essentially they would be on there from Saturday at 8 a.m. till about Sunday night at 12 midnight, and they would broadcast programs that was the progenitor of the national public radio stuff you hear today. So you would hear news at the top of the hour. You'd hear the kind of music that your parents like listening to, and you had no choice but to listen because you're sitting in the backseat of the station wagon while they're driving somewhere, and they got Monitor on. And then you hear like interviews with newsmakers and maybe some comedy from Bob and Ray or Ernie Kovacs. And then there was this young lady who was in the first 5 years of the show, first 10 years of the show. Her name was Teddy Thurman. She passed away last month. I put the obit up on my Facebook page. She was known as Miss Monitor, and she would more or less give out the weather report in this great, sultry, breathy voice, and she would just say things like, Atlanta, 67, cloudy. And guys couldn't walk for days on end afterwards with the type of voice she had. She just passed away last month at the age of 83. But obviously just and this type of format was created by the same guy who created The Tonight Show, the Today Show, and also fathered Sigourney Weaver, Pat Weaver, Sylvester Weaver. And,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was great radio. So the Groucho tribute came from that, and there's a few other things I plan to call. I'm a hack. I don't have anything original. I just bring all the good stuff
No,
back.
but here's the thing, is when I'm listening to his stuff, like one night he was playing some Gunsmoke, and I was never a fan of Gunsmoke, but I had to, I was working on the computer, and he saw me on, he goes, hey, show's on, and I'm like, oh, yeah, so I tap in, and I'm listening to this Gunsmoke. Now, was it a radio serial, or was it audio from a TV? Because it wasn't James Arness.
It was originally a radio serial, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm listening, and I'm like, man, this guy who's playing Matt Dillon isn't James Arness, but it's still, I recognize the voice, and it turned out to be William Conrad, who later played Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I'll be damned. So was he doing that on radio?
In 1952, William Conrad was cast as Marshal Matt Dillon, and that lasted for until 61. But in 1955, the radio show was such a hit because it wasn't Roy Rogers or Hopalong Cassidy. It was kind of like the Law and Order, as it were, of Westerns. It was a straight, strict, grown-up Western. And when they were casting the roles for the television series, the radio cast, one of them was the guy who played Doc was Howard McNear, who would go on to play Floyd the Barber on the Andy Griffith Show. Yeah,
wow.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Andy.
Yeah, pre-stroke Andy, pre-stroke Floyd.
Well, you're being polite. I thought it was pre-pedophile Floyd.
Hi, Opie. Let's get together, Howard.
Would you like a trim?
But afterwards, they realized that they were casting for all these characters, and they said, well, listen, why don't they give us a chance here? So they went ahead and out of their own pocket paid for a photographer. They got dressed up in Western outfits, went to a back lot, and they took photographs, which is what you might see on the CD releases, or if you happen to just type in Gunsmoke Radio, and you might see photographs of them and such. But you take a look at a guy like James Arness, and before he did Gunsmoke, he was the thing from another world. This giant vegetable, and he was about like 7 feet tall, and he had this presence about him. And you see him, and you think, yeah, that's Matt Dillon for television. Can you imagine a guy who looked like William Conrad? A magnificent voice, but look at him.
He did
Big
not
husky
have a
dude,
body.
yeah.
I mean, he wasn't Jake. He was the fat man for a reason, okay?
That's right.
And who was his brother?
Yeah.
Peter Graves was James
right.
Arness's brother.
That's right, yeah, because it was the stage name. They both have the same last name of Arness, but you're correct on that. But obviously, just the idea of seeing a fat guy, in the middle of Dodge City, ready to do a duel, was kind of laughable. Now the voice, I'm that man, Matt Dillon, the first person they always ask for, and the last man they want to meet. I mean, that kind of voice, of course.
He had a great voice. My favorite thing that he ever did is he was the narrator of Bullwinkle.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was
You're
absolutely
right.
it.
Forgot all about that.
My favorite thing was the cannon chop.
Cannon chop?
You remember the cannon chop?
Where he would just chop them in the neck and they go down?
That's when Chuck Berry was big. It was in the 70s.
Well, see, I remember my dad watching the show, but I could never get into it. I would always end up leaving the room.
I always wanted to see a celebrity death match between Cannon and Barnaby Jones.
Cannon would win.
I don't know. Barnaby Jones, pretty wiry.
Yeah, he's a good dancer. He can
He's got the soft. He's got the soft shoe.
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. All right, here's my next question. Where do you get all this stuff?
You ever heard of a thing called the internet?
I'm not familiar with it.
It's a fascinating invention. All this stuff here, you have to understand one very important thing. When I Love Lucy was a hit, Lucy and Desi basically told CBS, we want to buy our product back from you guys after you showed it. And the attitude from CBS was, okay, fine, go ahead. Who wants to see the show again after it's been broadcast?
Right.
So we have this thing called reruns. So what the networks at the time, NBC and CBS and Mutual and all the others, and the independent companies that syndicate this stuff, they didn't think about these things, or if they did, they only had so much for a time before it became public domain. So there is an organization called Radio Spirits, which does sell these things, but basically it's not like they're selling all these collections for a lot of money. They're selling it just to cover the costs and such, and just to keep the operations going. But essentially, there's no contract stipulations for radio programs in the way that there are for television programs. And so that's why one could easily go ahead and just go to archive.org, download a freight load of Jack Benny, Bob Hope, Burns and Allen, The Shadow, Superman,
Amos and Andy.
Yeah, and all those shows, and just basically put it together and say, guess what, kids? We're going back in time with a 6-hour block. Enjoy, you know.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
They did a lot of that with the old, when they came out with the old fake, the new old fake radios, the big heavy box deals where they would sell tapes and stuff for that kind of thing.
Yeah, cassettes.
And that was all old radio stuff, as I recall.
Yeah, as a sampler, and of course the most popular one that's released while he's getting his lunch is obviously the one I'm going to be playing on October 30th, about 2 weeks from tonight, The War of the Worlds.
Oh,
nice.
Now that I had on vinyl. When they
Orson
released that
Welles.
on vinyl in the 70s, I had that, a double record. So that was always cool to listen to.
Yeah.
So listen, I've been busting your balls trying to get you in here to do the show and hang out with us for a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And I was cleaning out. We're in the process of... Anyways, I'm still moving.
Still?
Yeah, let's not get into it.
It's a moving experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an experience, all right. And so there's a ton of stuff that we're going to put in the yard sale, and what doesn't sell goes to the Goodwill. And my wife was going to put this in the yard sale, and I said, wait, I think I know a guy who would appreciate it, and I would like to give this to you. There you go.
Very nice.
As a gift from the Mick Show.
Very nice indeed, yes. Very lovely.
And
Where's our present?
For the novices.
Have we gotten a single present?
You got a
I
syringe. He got a clock.
Now, if I'm correct in saying here, and let me do the Valerie Silver thing as I'm talking, immediately just turn to the camera and smile like this.
Let him zoom in. All right.
What the hell
We
is
got
that
it?
thing?
It's
Yeah,
a clock.
I don't know what it looks like on Ustream now.
It's it looks more like a Japanese anime robot character with a clock in the middle of his stomach.
It is.
Yes.
It is
It's a Japanese
Ultraman.
version
Is
of
it
Flavor
Ultraman?
Flav.
It is
yes.
Ultraman.
Yeah, just Ultraman Junior. It looks like. But
Well,
you're
you
right.
know,
Yeah,
they shrunk him down to to go with the clock, I guess.
You're very correct
Mini
on that.
Ultraman.
Definitely Japanese, and thank you for spotting that as Ultraman because, of course, my mind doesn't work after.
Oh, I'm disappointed you didn't get it. I thought you'd get it right off the bat.
Well, it takes time. I'm not getting any younger, you know.
I was like, man, if I show this to Joey, he's going to know exactly what it is.
It's Ultraman.
Well,
If I could have seen it,
You're
if I
welcome.
could have seen it from in front and underneath, I'd have picked it out right away.
We could pick this out in post, you know. But thank you. It's most kind.
All right.
Thank you.
Take it home with the rest of your junk and
No.
just lose it and bury it somewhere.
Now, if I connect the
Sell
green
it in
wire
the
with the
garage
blue
sale.
wire, will it
Here
go?
you go, Mike. I got you something.
Oh, thank
Double
you.
check. I don't think there's any batteries in it. If there are, they're corroded. So,
Batteries. I love batteries.
So, yeah.
That's okay. We're getting Christmas bonuses.
I understand.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you again. It's most kind. Thank you.
Not a
sir.
problem. Hey, guys, you see these windscreens?
Yes.
Oh, that's our present.
That's it. That's
Wait
it.
a minute. Wait a minute. Where is my windscreen for starters? And second of all, I bought that and brought it in here.
No, I bought 2 of them.
I bought one and brought it in here like the second or third night I was here.
I didn't buy mine.
I did.
No.
It's okay. I left it here. I don't care.
Anyways.
Don't make any difference, but I do have to go find it now.
You see, the thing is, when you bring in these windscreens, they tend to like sprout legs and leave. And then you come and complain to me and say, you want more windscreens? And I say,
yeah.
we're on the air already. What more do you want?
That Jack Benny?
No, it's
That's
more-
Valerie.
So Valerie tells me, why, when you do my voice, why does it sound like a cross between Roseanne Barr and Larry Flint before he got the stroke? Would you like it to be after the stroke? You know.
Take your clothes off and spread over there.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's from us to you.
Thank you. That's most.
And, that's for Geek Radio and whatever. And, take a picture of it, put it on Facebook when a celebrity. If you want to know who's dead, just go to his page. He always changes his profile picture
to whoever's
dead.
Yeah.
Whenever I see that pop up.
I gave a little shout out to Alex Karras today. I posted a little YouTube clip of Mongo, Mongo only pawn in Game of Life. That was it.
I heard that voice clip on CBS News at about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
No, it's about the time I posted it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I find it fascinating because he did make an appearance as himself in the film Paper Lion. Which was
George Papard.
Yes, yes, and Alan Alda played.
Alan Alda.
Was it George Papard? Is
Plimpton.
that right?
It was Plimpton.
George Plimpton. That's right.
Yes,
I'm getting him mixed up with the A-Team dude.
Plimpton is the writer, and Alan Alda played George Plimpton.
No, he was Hannibal.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Paper Lion. So.
He actually, that was an interesting story. That Plimpton went and he tried out for the team, didn't he? Didn't Alan Alda play him in a movie or something
he
like
did.
that?
He played him in Paper Lion, and Karras was in it, and essentially tried out for the Lions just to see what it was like, and they let him be like a fourth string, and he played a couple of downs, and he got his claw cleaned out. So,
he did.
Yeah. So Alex Karras is alive, and Webster. Alex Karras is dead, and Webster's still alive. There's something.
Wasn't Webster like 45 years old when that show was on?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to be like 70 now. You know, and still 3 feet tall.
Getting smaller all the time.
So.
He's getting wider, I think.
But Alex Karras. I don't know. He was just one of those guys that managed to have a career outside of football. It was just pretty impressive. You know, that he
was
just
a fairly well-read guy, too. You know what I mean?
He?
Alex Karras was no dope. You know, I mean, like some of these dudes that came out of the NFL in the 50s, you know, if you ever listened to Gino Marchetti or one of those guys, you know, Art Donovan played for the Colts.
Art Donovan, yeah.
You know, I mean, this guy's got hit in the head quite a bit. But, you know, I mean, Alex Karras was a, you know, fairly well-spoken dude.
If you go onto YouTube and type Monday Night Football 1975, he was part of that for about a year in the broadcast booth. And hearing him, you'd find that he just really draws you in. And he wasn't like Dandy Don in the respects he was a perfect foil for Cosell, but he fit in there. You know, when Don had like one of those prima donna moments and felt that they couldn't go on without him.
He needed to be more Mongo to stay on Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he was more smart guy.
Yeah.
He was in that movie with...
What's that? I can't hear you.
I know. Well, I've got this nice microphone. I'm going to sit in his lap. How's that sound?
All right.
What was
Wait
the
a minute.
movie
Shouldn't you be
where
in mine?
They went after that treasure, and he was part of a football team, and he was a detective back in the 80s.
The Longest Yard?
No.
Football team detective?
He was
What?
Share next time, Aaron.
Yeah.
It's a special movie. I think I know what we're talking about.
I'll do a research.
Sharing is caring.
IMDb is always a good source. Yeah.
Well, forget about Alex Karras. I am just glad that, I don't know. My plan did go through.
Which one?
I just got back from New Mexico this morning. And unfortunately for Mr. Baumgartner, he could not go up and break the record. And I was watching it live, and my plan worked. I couldn't get clearance to get on the tarmac and let some helium out of the balloon.
Just keep you a few 1,000 feet short.
So what I did is I went to New Mexico, and I went to the local Home Depot, and I bought 20 giant industrial fans and a power generator, and I went up into the mountain and just pointed it down, and I just kept it going for 24 hours so it would build up some momentum. Yeah. And at launch time, that balloon started to twist in the wind, and they went and aborted the mission.
Yeah. You personally wrecked the weather.
That's right. And if you watch the live footage, if you're watching the live footage at the time, they kept cutting back from the capsule to mission control.
Yeah.
And, of course, Joe Kittinger sitting right up front.
Big smile.
Big smile until they aborted. And then he was just like, he almost threw his headset off. He was just like,
you bunch of damn whippersnappers.
You know, so he was just visibly not happy. He was just like, damn it.
He went up in the equivalent of like a Dickies winter work suit.
That's right.
Yeah, that leak
with a hand
that
exposed
leak.
to space.
Right.
You know,
exactly. I'm sure he had some choice words that they would not have been able to broadcast.
And the blood pooled up, so his hand was twice the size, and thus he had to pull the cord with his left hand. And he still jumped. He still went up there and jumped.
Yeah, I don't care if this guy jumps from the moon. I'm still.
I think it'll be fun to watch. I think it'll be fun watching somebody to do that. but I still think, like you had said it best when he was on, he said, you can't build the pyramids twice.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's been done. You did it. You know, so
with a lot less.
With a lot less.
Kittinger was 102,000. Is that right?
I
want to say it was 102, and Baumgartner's going to 120.
Is
that right?
Is that what it is? I thought.
Yes.
Okay,
I think so.
Baumgartner just jumped from 97.
Okay.
And that's the one where the picture that's going around the internet, and he's in space. Like, you can see the whole curvature of the Earth, and he's standing on the platform. But so yeah, this is the one that's going to be 120.
Yeah. So it's day by day as to when they're going to do the next launch. So. You know, they're just.
Kittinger would have jumped in a hailstorm. He wouldn't have cared.
He wouldn't have cared.
No.
I don't need this helmet.
Yeah.
I'll hold my breath.
I'll just hold my breath.
That's right.
And then when he gets to the ground, you know, he just looks it around and says, "What took you so long?"
Yeah.
And
Where's the cameras?
He's like,
punches the first person that walks out.
Right.
Take me to your leader.
I'm hungry. Let's go eat. You know, I mean, that's how Joe rolls. You know, just screw it. I did it, and let's move on. I need to have a beer. So
let's go.
Yeah.
Did you hear who's paying to go into space now?
Ashton Kutcher, right?
A lot of people are.
A lot of people have been approached or talked about it.
She had a press conference in London today. $60 million for 10 days in space. I think after her tour ends, she's going to be going to Russia to train for the Soyuz. Sarah Brightman.
I know the name, but it's not.
She's a singer.
Family opera.
She's a singer, and she was married to what's his name?
And she has that much money, huh?
Married to the composer, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Andrew
Lloyd Webber.
Yep.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if they're still married.
I was hoping he'd say Lady Gaga, and I'd
That's
be like, let's come up with 70 to keep her up there.
Have you heard about this this Japanese man that's offering $64 million to convert his lesbian daughter?
He's a Malaysian. He's from Malaysia.
Yeah. Any man that will convert his lesbian daughter.
I'll take a shot.
Yeah. Marry her and convert her. Yes. They get like $65 million.
You give me the money up front, and I'll work it.
Yeah. So, and of course the daughter's nowhere. Oh, the daughter isn't even near him. She's in another country, and I think she's in Europe, and
she's run away.
Yeah, she's like, you know, tell my father he's crazy, and you know, blah 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 blah, or there, you know. So
meanwhile, she looks like Chaz Bono.
Yeah,
just my type.
Can you imagine putting Chaz Bono up in space and trying to get her? You know, that'll be really fast, like a rock.
The moon starts going around her.
Who are you calling her?
The oceans are
that's
all
right.
messed
You
up.
can't even call her her.
That dude.
That dude. Oh, so how old is Sarah Brightman, for God's sakes?
Probably 45.
No way.
I'd say roughly about that age, but then again, we've had a few other individuals. I mean, John Glenn was the oldest man in space since William Shatner in 1999, and I think you had Story Musgrave, who was like the oldest astronaut in the Corps at the age of 60 or something. But yeah.
Of all people, Sarah Brightman. What kind of physical shape is she in?
She's just doing it to get even. Is she still with Andrew Lloyd Webber? Or are they divorced? Yeah, I'd imagine they're divorced, and
she
she's
wants
just
to spend his
sticking
money.
it to it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do with your money? I'm going to space for 10 days.
52 years old.
She's 52?
Wow. 52.
Yeah, that's about what I would imagine.
Yeah, she
and I guess if you've got the money, it doesn't matter how old or how infirmed you are, they're going to send you up there.
Oh, yeah. It's for hire now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it going on, what is it, Virgin Galactic? Is that what she's
That's
doing?
the other one, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Brent.
but they don't
wanting
go
to
for
say
10
SpaceX.
days, though. Who goes to they go to the space station?
They just go up and do the Virgin Atlantic. I think they just do the parabolic, don't they?
They don't go to the space station?
Is that the...
yeah, they do the parabolic just to flip around. And
just the up and down like this, just to give you the anti-grav thing.
Virgin Galactic, yeah. But they plan to do suborbital flights and also transatlantic flights.
Is it a Wilford Brimley?
No, yeah.
He likes turkey baster.
Think if
We're looking at photos on the interweb right now. Don't worry, Valerie, they're all clean. What do you mean they're all clean?
They're not clean. Yeah, I'm going to give you some hints. Ohio.
Urban Meyer.
No.
What's wrong?
Look around me.
Teach your children well.
David Crosby?
There you go. saying too.
What? You zoomed in on my mustache again?
It just came up. I typed
He
in.
just he was looking for
typed
Sarah
in Sarah
Brightman and up
Brightman,
popped.
and there it is.
There's Mick.
Oh, BS.
No, for real.
The safe search is off. Yeah, you're right.
For
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Sarah Brightman and I come up in the
Yes.
search.
Not you.
Oh, okay.
Well, David Crosby.
Oh, all right, whatever.
He looks emaciated in this one, doesn't he? Did he lose weight?
He had a kidney problem, liver problem.
Yeah,
or something,
he had a
didn't
liver transplant.
Yeah.
Heart transplant.
Right? Yeah. How'd the bypass go?
Yeah,
on the way
I-
home last week.
I hear you
He
got
wouldn't
bad
stop.
news from the psychic.
He wouldn't stop in the emergency room. He didn't.
I'm like, yeah, man. You better start taking care of that heart. And then we stopped right by the emergency room. He's like, yeah, man, it looks pretty crowded in there.
It was. Manatee Memorial. We're driving by. I'm like, look at the crowd in that
Yeah.
thing, man.
You're lucky I feel good today.
Oh,
Hey, what are you here for, sir? Quadruple bypass, please. Squeeze me in. I don't have an appointment.
you know, my sister was
It's an
listening.
emergency.
So every time she shoots me an email, she goes, "How's your health? How you feeling?" I'm like, "The guy's a psychic."
I understand he gave you one lottery number too.
One series
What?
of lottery. Yeah, one series of lottery numbers.
One number right.
We got the one number
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Was it the
John might be
Powerball number,
listening.
though?
He confirmed.
What's that?
Was it the Powerball number?
I don't know.
No.
He went and
It
played
was
it.
like in the middle. It was
Yeah.
like 36.
You don't
no.
get anything for that, right?
No.
No.
Don't.
He
like
confirmed
big-
tonight,
get
too,
my
to
share,
listen.
man.
So he might be listening. John, if you're out there, John, give us a call.
Yes, John Fortuna, because I'm still here.
That's
Barely.
right. And they didn't hit the
Barely.
lottery.
And
And Keith hasn't got back together with his ex-wife yet.
Not yet. No. I'm fighting it.
fighting it.
Wise man.
What did he say about you? You need to hold on to your money because you might be out of a
He's
job.
getting fired.
I ain't even going to ask what he said about me. I know what he
No,
said about me.
No,
he said I was
said
gay.
you're going to find the right guy.
Yes, you'll find the right guy and settle
He said
down.
you're going to find that pot of
I
gold at
know.
the end of the
I
rainbow.
Move to
understand. I
Massachusetts.
get it. Yeah, I get it.
These chicks were on the phone.
I know.
No influence from us whatsoever.
I don't believe that. I
That-
think you're. I
Swear
think
to
you're
God.
giving it a high.
No.
Swear to God.
See, I
You
think
know
he's
I
giving
don't
it a
take
high
Mick's
side
side.
in the pregame show.
Oh, well, that I don't know. That
I heard it. I was sitting at the house. That's why I called in. I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Oh,
Yeah, what's the chances? He was listening for the whole show. What are the chances you tuning in for that?
I was listening for the first hour. I want to say.
Until he got mad.
There was no
Yeah, I got angry when they called me gay. Well, the one wanted to kill me. I was okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
other one nailed me as gay, and I was like, "That's my job."
all right. Well, I don't have the audio. I've got audio for the other ones, but yeah.
I just
Have you made
figured
have you
you
made
played the
the-
game with the psychic too. You didn't?
No.
Have you made the compilation? Sound
I'm
yet?
making it.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
in the
okay,
process.
good.
Yeah.
He's gay, gay,
He's gay.
gay,
He's
gay,
gay.
gay,
He's gay.
gay, gay, gay,
He's
gay,
gay.
Kill
He's gay.
gay,
Let
gay.
him in on the. Does he know about the game?
No, he only tunes in at 10:57.
When he's on the air.
He's like, hey, by the way, Greek Radio coming up.
Hey, Greek radio. would be-
Greek radio.
Yeah, it would be a great show for a gay guy.
That's Mike's spin-off show.
That's right. Yeah. How do they separate the men from the boys in Greece? With a crowbar.
What's a Greek earn? Oh, about $5.50 an hour.
If he's really good.
So, anyways, it's just a running bit that we do when people call in, and we just show them a picture of the staff here, the crew, and we say, who would you marry, who would you sleep with, who would you kill, and who's gay? Mike is consistently picked out as gay.
I'm picked out as gay as often as Mick is married.
Yeah, and I am constantly being married.
It constantly falls that way. You get married, and I get, well.
Yeah, and it flip-flops between them, between sleep with
We're
and...
either dead or getting some.
Yeah, they're getting dead, yeah.
Oh, we should throw in another name in the mix there, like Brad Pitt, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
I don't like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Nobody'd ever get the special spot.
So, no celebs. Forget about that. It's all in-house.
That's what we should do. We should get a picture of the four of us, like Tombstone or what is it, Young Guns or one of those. Just four random guys. Like one of us could be Kiefer Sutherland and one could be Emilio Estevez. and just tell them it's us and see which ones they pick out as
Eric's
gay.
Lou Diamond Phillips for sure.
That's right.
So we'll pick out 3 decent guys and 1 slob. And every week we'll alternate the slob. We'll say, this week Keith is the slob. Oh no, that's Mike next week. No, it's me this week, and that's me.
See, yeah.
So
what is the other one? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah.
We're all in drag.
Yeah, we'll do that. Listen, folks, if you want to give us a call, it's 941-745-1490. Toll free, 888-761-1490. Of course, you can watch us live on Ustream.tv. When you go to Ustream.tv, just type in The Mick Show Cam, and you can watch us live. We will go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be back. You're listening to The Mick Show.